Hey Gooners, Goonerettes, what's going on, guys? And it's good to be talking to you guys again. I've had to take some time out because, as you guys know, I've got long COVID from what happened to me last year, and it's been a battle, it's been a challenge, and I was just literally collapsing of exhaustion last week. But less about me and more about you guys. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. We're entering a period where there's not a lot of football on. I'm afraid the Arsenal PSV game has now been postponed due to lack of police, and UEFA confirmed that the fixture is to be rearranged because there are limitations on police numbers. But this was put forward to PSV to be played at their ground, which they denied, and obviously they know what happened with Spurs last season, where Spurs had to give a win to Rennes, and they're hoping that the same thing will happen to Arsenal. And it's going to come down to the point that we're going to have to play 10 games in the month of October. What we do know is that we have a backup squad capable of doing that. So if there does come a time where we have a run of fixtures where it's like 3 games in 10 days, then we can actually do that because we do have a reserve side that, as I said, is capable of getting a result. So regardless of the outcome or what happens, I don't think that we have to worry about fixture burnout too much. I think that is something that we can deal with very well, and which is the complete opposite of what happened last season. So look, they'll figure it out. We have to sit down and wait. I know it's frustrating because we're sitting down, we're not watching much football, we're not going to any games at the moment, and the fixtures are only going to pile up because of this damn World Cup that they have at Christmas, which is just the gift that keeps on giving. It's causing more problems than ever before. I mean, we know we've been asking for winter breaks, and we know that the pile-ups around that time of the year are crazy, and it's just impacted on what was already a disastrous setting for congestion in terms of fixtures. And I don't know how they're going to get around it. And I really do hope Arsenal don't forfeit the game. I really do hope that they come to some sort of conclusion and play it, because it would just, finishing second it just means another couple of games of qualifications that you have to play, which I don't think is right on this young team. I think that they're one of the favourites to win the Europa League, and I think that having to do it this way is just going to make things worse for the team because it adds on another 2 fixtures, which you just can't do. So, yeah, I think it's one thing that they have to talk about, they have to discuss, and we have to really now wait for the powers that be to see if they can funnel in this fixture, and then we'll be able to play it. The other thing that I want to talk about is Thierry Henry has praised Balogun for his decision to join Reims during the summer window. Balogun, who you guys know, is 21 years old now, and he's on a season-long loan. He's already made a good impression, scoring 5 goals and assisting 2 goals in just 7 appearances. Now, I've gone on record to say to you guys that he needs a Saliba type loan where this guy is just balling out at the position and is one of the top players in the league. Saliba won all kind of accolades, as you guys know, came back to Arsenal and he's bossing it. And I think with Arsenal, you need to do that because right now, our third striker option is Martinelli. And some people aren't happy with that. Now, I'm happy with that because Martinelli can play in that role. But a lot of people are just saying, look, man, we should just go out and bought a striker. Look, if worse things come to the worst, Martinelli will get us through till the end of this season, and then we'll have a 22-year-old Balogun who, as I said, and he's not a shrimp as well. Balogun is well filled out for a 21-year-old, and I think that just the experience that is needed at a competitive level is the only thing that he's really needed to add to his game. And if Thierry Henry believes the star will improve during his time in France, then we should believe that as well. I think it's going to be something that's going to benefit him a great deal. And I targeted him for 12 to 15 goals. And it looks like he might easily achieve that. And if he does, believe that, guys, if a striker who's 21 years old on loan gets between 12 to 15 goals in a full season, and adding in the assists, which, by the way, the assist is something that is a bonus, it's a benefit, and not many strikers are good at doing that. And if he can add that to his game, it shows that he can be a link player as well as just a goal scorer, which is a benefit to Arsenal Football Club. I want to also talk about Thomas Partey's injury. As I've talked about on the last podcast and in the forum when I spoke to Pete, as you guys can see here, my sources a couple of days ago did say to me that he'll be coming back to training today. And that's exactly what's happened. Partey's now into his third season at the Emirates following his 45 million move from Madrid. And it's just been woeful that he's missed 36 matches. The question is now is, do you make him part of the squad against Brentford, which is our next away game? Do you start him? Do you put him on the bench? I think you put him on the bench because I think you've been adept at dealing with fixtures without him. And I think also is that there's always the option to bring him on in the last 20 minutes for him to get a little bit of a run out, which is what I think he needs. Now remember, coming back to practice today means that he'll have 3 or 4 days of full practices as well. So that's something that you can sort of really fit into, boost his confidence in terms of him being fit. Because as I said, guys, it was a tweak in the thigh area where the injury was. It wasn't a full-blown injury. It's going around in our fan base now that it was a full-blown injury. It's not what happened. It's not what was the case. It was just a reoccurrence of a strain in that area. And that's the reason why he's only been out for 3 weeks or so. So I like the fact that he's coming back into the mix, but they need to take care of it in terms of boosting his chances to play in those most important games, which is Spurs, Liverpool, and things like that. So I do want to wish Thomas Partey well, and I also want them to just ease him in, and I really don't think he needs to be a part of the Brentford matchup at all. So yeah, I mean, that's my say on the whole situation. I do also want to talk about the Premier League now is expecting to push ahead with plans to use the semi-automatic offside for next season. Oh Lord, I can just hear you guys in the chat right now. We're not even dealing with VAR right now. And now we're dealing with another thing to do with the offside rule. The one thing that I must say is, and I've always said it on the shows, guys, VAR works. What issues we're having with this technology, it's got nothing to do with the technology itself. It's the people behind it that are making the decisions. That's what's causing all the complications. Now with this, it's a semi-automated system, which means the computer will be the ones making the decision. So the benefits to this is, if you look at the semi-automated systems that we have in sports, and I'm talking about Hawkeye, for football I'm talking about tennis, or the line technologies that they have in there, that is just done by computers. So there's no decisions that are really being made by humans. Then that might be a positive, because what it does is it puts the infrastructure in place that will be able to make the right decisions at the right times and not stand there for 3 or 4 minutes on the sideline looking into a TV screen trying to figure it out. Yeah, I think that this is a little bit more positive news, and I'm open to it, and I hope that you guys are too. But let's not try and paint everything with the same brush that this is another VAR, because it's something which is completely different. It's a technology in other sports that works, and it's super quick as well. So I just want to sort of talk about that and hope that they'll be able to make a more solid stamp on the game, because most of the VAR, I would say half of the bad VAR decisions are offsides. The other half is with penalties. And if we can deal with 50% of the calls and make them more accurate and more on a timely matter, then I think that would be a benefit to football as a whole. The other thing I want to talk about now is well done to Matt Turner, Arsenal goalkeeper, and his wife, Ashlyn, recently has celebrated their newly born son. So there's some pictures going around now on the websites, on Instagram and on Twitter. So I just want to say it's wonderful. We've got all this time off where everybody's reflecting now at the moment. And the next game's not going to be until Brentford. So at least that he's got the time to sit down with his wife and son and sort of enjoy his new birth of the family member. So I just want to say well done to him. Congratulations to him and his wife, and long may it continue. So just wanted to do a quick update for you guys, just to let you know how I am and just to know what the latest is on the club as well. And we are hearing that Liverpool are coming in for Douglas Luiz as well in the new year, but we'll deal with that when it comes. We do know Douglas Luiz wants to go to Arsenal, so I don't think Liverpool knocking on the door will be able to sway that decision. The player's already made up his mind that he wants to come to Arsenal. They're currently top of the league, so I think the way things are, and if we push on and have a good run into the end of this year, I don't think it's really going to change anything. And also I know Liverpool chop and change their team a lot. With Arsenal, they don't really do that. So I think in regards to him getting a lot of playing time, I think he'll play for Arsenal more than he would at Liverpool, and they'll try and stress that point as well to the player. So listen, look, you guys look after yourself. and I'll catch up with you in the next one. Peace out.